In this video, we are going to set up a phone number for ourselves and for our account that we can later on use to send text messages in our campaigns. For example, reminder text messages if someone books a call or signs up for a webinar. So this is a pretty useful function. And so you can also buy separate phone numbers for your salespeople and seller team. So it's a pretty useful area in the software. And this is something that is extremely valuable, that really GoHighLevel was able to pull all these functions. And this is what I really talked about in my very first video of the series, that you can have everything under one roof. You can get your phone numbers, you can set up your email, you can set up your funnels and CRM and everything. So by this time, you should already have your basic company information set up, your domain for your website set up, and also your email services domain set up properly. So let's get into buying phone numbers. Most likely you are going to watch this video from the United States. If not, but you are watching from the UK, Australia, or any other part of the world, this might be a little bit different because different countries have different regulations. In the US, if you buy a US number, it can't be used right away. You have to go through an A2P verification process. You might have to do something similar like a verification process for your own country if it's not the United States. But GoHighLevel is going to guide you through that, and it's going to show you like if it's approved or not, and you won't have any issues. You will be 100% sure if it's working or not. Let's go through this and let's set up a phone number. So if I go here to the phone number submenu, then I get a add new number option. I am going to add a specific phone number. The rest of the two I don't mention in this video because this is going to be the most frequently used one. I just add the new number. I select the United States as a country, and then basically I can do my searches as long as I want. I can also buy toll-free number. It's faster to get approved, but at the end of the day, you want to switch over to a real number. So you can buy this first if your campaign is really close up, because you can also send the text messages and calls from a toll-free number, but it's always going to show it's a toll-free number. So people might get more suspicious and might not pick up the phone at that high of a rate as if it's coming from like a legit real number. And so this number can later on be also added to your business information on Google and everywhere else on your website. Every call, text, and any inbound inquiry would come to this very specific number within GoHighLevel. So this is pretty neat. You can do refresh results and filter, and actually filter for area codes and everything if you want. So for example, if you are a New York-based business in a specific town, then you can select for that specific area code and you don't have to buy a San Francisco-based phone number. I'm just going to show you it real quick. You can make filter for a number, and then you can just put like 212, which is an area code in New York, if I'm correct. And then you can just say it's the first part of the number, and then you can make a filtration for that. Well, I tried that, and you might need to put the +1, but then you cannot put more than 4 characters. So you have to play around this a little bit if you want to look for a specific area code, or you can also try 212 and any part of the number, not just the beginning, and then try this. And you might need to refresh it a couple of times when now it gives me toll-free only, okay, locals, but then it can be at any part of the number, right? So that's not important for us. It's more like about the area code, right? So you might need to play around with this a little bit to find that exact area code, or you just refresh a couple of times without filter, and then you hope for the best to get something out for you. But if it's important for you, then it's worth it to just search a couple of times. But for me, at this example, it's not relevant at the moment. So I just buy an Austin, Texas-based phone number, and that's I'm going to be good with. So I proceed to buy, and then basically this phone number is going to be allocated to me immediately, which is really nice. And you only have to pay like $1.15 per month, which is very nice because it's super cheap. And for each and every text message and call, you have a separate pricing for that. So it's just by having this number allocated to you. This is what you are paying for here, but it's very cheap, so you don't have to worry about that much. I got this phone number. You can rename the phone number for yourself. If you have like multiple phone numbers, you can call them company's main number, for example, or John's sales call number, or whatever you want. And you can set up a lot of different settings here, like how the phone number and the timeout periods for incoming calls and outgoing calls should work. So everything should make sense here. Forward calls to whatever number. If you want to set that up, just go through on these settings and set up every one of these which makes sense to you. That's gonna be it. And then friendly name is John's sales number, and then you will be able to see the number here. And then this is currently set for default number. To make like a better example out of it, I would rather call this like default company number. Let's say I would use this for my website and use this for like a default number that people can call me on. And then I could purchase for John a separate number, which is going to be allocated to him only. If you would like to allocate a number to a certain person, I am going to show you that in a later video when it is going to be relevant, and we are going to talk about like exact solutions and setting up users with phone numbers. But just getting a default number is already enough to be able to send text messages and be able to initiate calls. And it's also fine if multiple people are using the same number. I have been running systems where 2 or 3 people are using the same number, and it's perfectly fine. And it's a multi-5-figure per month operation. So that's gonna be fine. Don't worry about this too much. Don't overcomplicate necessarily. But the part which you should really focus on is the A2P registration. And so you have to click here to go through that. It's going to be very straightforward and it's going to lead you through the whole thing, but I am going to walk you through and go step by step to show you how it's done. Basically, you scroll down, you start registering now. Is this business entirely registered and located in the US? Yes. If not, then obviously pick what's relevant for you. Yes, I'm registered and has a tax ID. I think this is going to be the most frequently occurring situation, and then hit continue. On the second page, you are going to see the legal business name and all of the information that you have set up previously in the business profile. So as you can see, we are relying on previous videos materials. And yeah, if you haven't done that before, that's also fine. You just fill out those information here and then hit continue. It's gonna double check your business address on the third page. Well, actually not double check because the business detail didn't contain this information. So you can also type it here, or if you have done before, you just double check if it's entered correctly, then hit continue. And then on the last page, it's just the contact info for the account owner. So this has also been set up properly before. And I'm just putting in here, yeah, I'm just gonna use a different number for this example. But then once it's ready, you basically hit continue. Then basically just go what's recommended, low volume standard. That's fine. It's gonna be up to 6,000 segments per day, which is not 6,000 text messages. One text message is generally built up from 2, 3, 4, max 5 segments. It has a detailed description at the website of Twilio if you want to understand more deeply, but it's going to be fine. I acknowledge that brand and campaign registration, one time $24 will be charged and additional $3 for fast track if it's necessary. And then you just check that box, hit continue, and you are good to go. So after you've hit continue, the system is going to ask you to fill out a couple of example emails that you are going to type out. So you can actually just ask ChatGPT, or maybe you can copy a couple of previous emails that you have been using in the past that you can give in as example. It will ask you a few, so it will take around 5 to 10 minutes to type those in. And then once those are done, it's going to redirect you to a page like this. And the reason why I switched over to another account, because I did, is to show you how it's supposed to look like when it's all done and everything is set up properly. So it should say A2P messaging verified, brand is approved, campaign is approved, and basically you are good to go. If you just submitted this application, then it's going to probably show something along the lines of waiting for approval or something like that on a blue background. So that's what you're supposed to see. The brand gets approved pretty quickly in a couple of hours, and the campaign might take a little bit longer, and they can also get rejected. And they also get rejected generally because of the examples that you have put into the text messages and the emails. Just tell ChatGPT, if you've generated by ChatGPT, to a little bit make it more exact, or just add more information, or add the stop button, like reply stop to stop receiving messages. Maybe that was missed. Actually, GoHighLevel is giving you examples in like a gray text behind the box, so you can actually just even screenshot it like this way, and then feed it to ChatGPT to generate one for your own business. You should just give a couple of details of what you do as a business, and then basically you are done. Once you see this page and all approved and verified, you are basically good to go, and you can launch campaigns. And then you can also launch calls to your clients from the app now as a salesperson, or your salesperson who you hired for this role. So this is pretty much it. And actually we are done with the very initial setup. In the next video, we are going to upload a list and bulk verify if that's necessary. And I'm also going to a little bit talk about email warming up, because that's really, really important. That impacts deliverability a lot. So if you are running a campaign and you have a large list, then it definitely makes sense to get that list cleaned and also get your domain warmed up. If you are launching a new offer and you have a new domain, that's absolutely necessary. If you have an old domain, that's not going to be relevant for you, because that's probably already warmed up. So then you can go on to the next videos. But the next 1 or 2 video is going to be about list uploading, list cleaning, and domain warm up.